If I told you that your entire life could change, not by grand gestures, not by luck, not by some dramatic breakthrough, but by small daily habits, would you believe it? Jim Rohn taught that your future is hidden in your daily routine. Not your dreams, not your intentions, not your wishes, but your habits. And the truth is this: small habits can change your life faster than big plans ever will, because big plans inspire you, but small habits transform you. Today, we're diving into 10 small habits that will change your life forever, based on the timeless wisdom of Jim Rohn. The habit of one better decision. Jim Rohn used to say, "Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day." He didn't say 100 disciplines. He said a few. And the easiest place to start is with one better decision each day. Not a perfect day, not a complete makeover. Just one better choice. Eat one healthier meal. Read for 10 minutes. Save $5. Take one small action you've been avoiding. It's like steering a ship. Just 1 degree of change doesn't look dramatic at first, but over time, it takes you to a completely different destination. Let me ask you, what is one small decision you can improve today? The habit of the quiet morning. Successful people don't just wake up, they rise. Jim often emphasized the importance of a calm, intentional start to the day. A quiet morning doesn't mean you have to meditate for an hour or read 5 chapters of a book. It simply means giving yourself a moment of stillness before the world rushes in. Think of your mind like a cup. If it's already full of noise, stress, and clutter, nothing new can be added. But a quiet morning empties the cup so that wisdom, clarity, and purpose can fill it. It could be journaling for 5 minutes. It could be reviewing your goals. It could be sipping your coffee without reaching for your phone. That one habit alone can change the tone of your entire day. The habit of feeding your mind. Jim Rohn believed your income rarely outgrows your personal development. So the question becomes, what are you feeding your mind? Every book you read, every audio you listen to, every idea you take seriously shapes the person you become. Jim used to hold up a book and say, "This little thing can make you a fortune if you let it." He knew that ideas, when acted upon, change everything. If you read just 10 pages a day, that's about a book a month. 12 books a year, 120 books in a decade. Imagine how different your thinking would be. Imagine the wisdom you would accumulate. And remember, your mind is a garden. Without planting good seeds, weeds will grow automatically. If you're finding value so far, take a moment to subscribe for more Jim Rohn-style wisdom and personal growth content. And tell me in the comments, I'm ready to grow. I always love seeing who's committed to their future. As we continue from the foundations, better decisions, intentional mornings, and feeding your mind, we move into the habits that strengthen your discipline and shape your long-term success. Jim Rohn believed that the smallest disciplines, practiced consistently, become the architecture of an entirely new life. The habit of daily movement. Jim Rohn often said, "Take care of your body. It's the only place you have to live." He wasn't talking about bodybuilding or extreme fitness routines. He meant movement, simple movement, a daily walk, stretching for a few minutes, breathing deeply. Anything that tells your body, "I haven't forgotten you." Because when your body feels better, your mind works better. You think clearer, you act with more energy, you approach your day with a different mindset. Here's the analogy Jim loved. Your body is like a vehicle. If you don't maintain it, it won't take you far. But give it small, consistent care, and it will carry you through decades of your dreams. The habit of tracking your progress. What gets measured improves, and what gets ignored declines. Jim was a massive believer in tracking your goals, your behaviors, your results. Not obsessively, but intentionally. Why? Because tracking builds awareness, and awareness creates change. It might be writing down your expenses, logging your workouts, keeping a small notebook of achievements, tracking your reading time. When you track your progress, you create momentum. You see improvement. You see patterns. You learn about yourself. Imagine driving without a dashboard, no fuel gauge, no speed, no temperature warning. That's how most people live. They wake up and hope things are getting better. Tracking removes hope and replaces it with clarity. The habit of saying no to the wrong things. Most people don't struggle because of what they say yes to. They struggle because of what they won't say no to. Jim Rohn used to say, "Don't let your mouth overload your back." Meaning, don't commit to things that don't move you forward. Saying no is not rejection. It is protection. Protection of your time, your energy, your goals. Here's a story Jim shared. A friend invited him to spend the whole weekend doing something fun but unproductive. Jim knew he had important work to finish, so he declined. And the friend said, "You've changed." Jim replied, "I had to. My future depended on it." Saying no is one of the most powerful habits because it creates space. Space for growth, focus, health, and rest. Let me ask you, what do you need to say no to that's been costing you your future? The habit of doing the hard thing first. Jim taught that one of the fastest ways to build self-respect is to do the hardest task first. Why? Because difficult tasks drain energy when avoided, but create energy when completed. Think of it like lifting a heavy weight. Once you lift it, the lighter ones feel effortless. Maybe it's the phone call you've been dreading, the exercise you don't want to do, the financial plan you've avoided, the conversation you've postponed. Do it first and your whole day shifts. The habit of guarding your environment. Your environment is stronger than your willpower, and it will shape you. Quietly, slowly, consistently. Jim Rohn said, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." So ask yourself, who do you allow into your world? What voices do you listen to? What energy do you absorb? Your environment is not just people, it's your home, your digital world, your workspace, your habits, the media you consume. If you want peace, create peaceful surroundings. If you want discipline, remove distractions. If you want growth, surround yourself with people who grow. Jim had a powerful analogy. If you plant a seed in poor soil, no matter how strong the seed is, it won't grow. Your environment is your soil. The habit of writing your future. Jim Rohn believed that writing is magical, not because the ink is powerful, but because the mind becomes clearer when expressed on paper. Write your goals. Write your visions. Write your plans. Write who you want to become. When you write, you take the invisible and make it visible. You tell your mind, "This matters, pay attention." Think about this. Architects don't start with buildings. They start with sketches. Your future works the same way. The habit of daily reflection. And now we reach the final habit. The habit that ties all others together. Reflection. Every day, take 5 minutes, just 5, and ask, what did I do well today? What could I improve tomorrow? What did I learn? Did I live like the person I'm becoming? Jim Rohn often said, "A life worth living is a life worth recording." Reflection turns experience into wisdom. It turns mistakes into adjustments. It turns days into progress. It turns intentions into results. You don't need to reflect for an hour, just a few quiet minutes, because the mind listens when you go slow. Identity shift, becoming the person who wins. Here's the truth Jim believed with all his heart. Your habits don't just change your actions, they change you. When you move your body, you become someone with energy. When you track progress, you become someone aware. When you say no, you become someone disciplined. When you reflect, you become someone wise. Little habits build big identities, and big identities build extraordinary lives. You don't need to transform overnight. You just need to take one small habit and start today. Jim Rohn said, "Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day." Your life changes when your habits change. Your habits change when your thinking changes. And your thinking changes when you decide it's time. So ask yourself, which habit will you begin today? Because your future is waiting for the person you're becoming. If this message spoke to you, write in the comments, "I'm ready to grow." Or, "Here's one habit I'll start today." And if you want more daily wisdom, make sure to subscribe so you never miss a new video. Your transformation begins with one small step. Take it today.